Rap a little flip, get straight into it about industry rappers selling their soul. Let's watch the video in full and then you'll get my comments at the end.
A lot of people, man, they're just, selling their soul and selling themselves short and distracted with the wrong things. So, it is what it is, man. This industry is a very evil industry. You know what I mean? Like it's very evil, man. So you got to really surround yourself with people that think like you or bigger than you. So it's a nice amount of, I ain't gonna even say nice. It's a lot of rappers that sold their soul and they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people. Yeah, I ain't gonna snake my people, and yeah, I just can't sell my people out, and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything. It's cool. I'm used to the attention,
Yeah, that's crazy for me to hear you say that, man. So rappers is really out here selling their soul for success. That's a real thing.
for sure. Yeah. Behind the scenes selling their soul or snaking somebody who deserves opportunity, you know?
Have you ever been approached to do anything out of pocket?
I've been approached to have somebody come to my house and pray and yeah, like, hey man, this guy, yeah, he's like he gets spirits out and he wants to come and pray. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I want to continue to pray the way I've been praying. I don't know who he believe in and what he believe in, but he can't come in my house. So I don't even, yeah, peace. I kept God in what I got going on. I kept God. I keep God in what I got going on. I don't love money. I talk for myself. I come from a family that programmed me and trained me to be out in this world and out in the streets and knowing how to maneuver. So you can't lure me with no money or nothing like that. Like meaning like if I don't want to do the deal, I ain't gonna do the deal. The difference between me and a lot of artists is I started doing music for God. My grandmother played the piano. I was in the church. I sung in the choir. I played the drums, played the piano, sung in the choir for God. Went to different churches and sung here and there, right? For God, doing music in the studios, making gospel music, making hip hop. But I started off doing music for God. So I'm not gonna let money dictate every move I make when it comes to music. It's a blessing for me to be able to create. The money is gonna come. So I just pride myself in treating people right and relationships outlast money.
A little shocked to hear about Little Flip growing up in the church. I never knew that. He says in the video that he started doing gospel music. He started doing music and making music for God, which he definitely doesn't do now. But it was interesting to see that perspective. And I wonder if, and I pose a question, is it because of that foundation of growing up in the church, making music for God, which allowed him to have a level of discernment and being able to maneuver in what he describes as a very evil industry? I think that him having that grounding and that foundation may have helped him navigate away from potentially selling his soul. You know, his point where he says that a lot of rappers and people within the industry, quote unquote industry, value money more than they value humans. And I think we see that in the world today, and we see that in terms of the state of the world and how the human condition is so fixated with more, with excess, with quick, with fast, with easy. And then when we look at the distribution of wealth and the distribution of those who are rich to those who are poor, we see a massive divide where resources aren't necessarily shared equally. Am I a communist, socialist? Absolutely not. But I do think those who are in need should be helped. It's a biblical principle. I think those who are innovators, trailblazers, who are creating new technology, new opportunities should be rewarded so for those efforts. But that's not the point. I think Little Flip really kind of hit the nail on the head here when we talk about um, and evil which exists in the industry, rappers selling their souls. You know, the Bible says, paraphrasing, but what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? And oftentimes, a lot of these guys are exchanging their soul and where they will end up when their life is over for earthly wealth now. And I think we really have to question that. We have to question that in ourselves, in our own walks, in our own endeavors. Do we exalt everything else above God? Is that money? Is that opportunities? Is that relationships? Whatever that may be, which is exalted above God, becomes an idol and makes no room for God to dwell in your life and help you to navigate the trials of this life. So I think it's just a real eye opener to see Little Flip talking in the way he is, and then going back to his church grounding, which I think has really helped him stay away from some of the traps and the snares and demonic influences which we know exist within Hollywood. Again, guys, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel to grow as we continue to spread biblical truth. And I'd love to see your comments in the section below.